So, a new year means a new iOS update. And of course, we're about 6 months away from the first glance at the next major update this year, iOS 16. So, in this video, I wanted to share with you guys my top wish list features for iOS 16 this year. Now, as always, if you would like to stay up to date with the latest iOS news and Apple software updates, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you turn on those notifications so that you don't miss another episode. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is security within iOS. As we know, we use Face ID to unlock or Touch ID to unlock, authenticate payments, download applications, and all that good stuff. But wouldn't it be nice if iOS 16 would add an additional layer of security by allowing users to lock individual applications using Face ID or Touch ID on your iOS device? Now, Apple currently allows this for third-party applications that can add the API. So, for example, if you have a banking application, you can use Face ID to log in and authenticate and get access to the data inside the app. It would be nice to see this implemented within Apple apps, for example, the Messages application, or maybe the Photos application, maybe the Notes. It'll be an additional layer of security for iOS that I think would be very well received by iOS users. So let me know what you think about this one in those comments down below. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the lock screen. If you guys follow me here on the channel, you already know how I feel about the lock screen in iOS. It is the worst use of space within the operating system, in my opinion. First thing at the bottom, we have these two shortcuts at the bottom for Face ID devices that you can't really customize. You have your camera or your flash, and that's it. It would be nice to be able to customize these shortcuts on the lock screen, maybe have your notes or maybe have your calendar on these bottom corners, quick access to whatever it is that you want, and don't have just the camera and the flash, right? So it would be nice to be able to customize the lock screen in that particular aspect. Now, there's also a few things I would like to see for the lock screen as well. Number one, why not have the ability to add a widget to the lock screen? So, for example, maybe add the weather widget directly on the lock screen, as you can see from these incredible concepts here. By the way, the designer of these concepts will be linked in the description. His Twitter, he's a very talented designer. I'll link everything in the description down below. But as you can see right here, I have the weather widget directly on the lock screen of my iPhone. Maybe the calendar widget on the lock screen will be nice. You can quickly glance at some important information with a widget directly on the lock screen. I think this would be an amazing idea, and a lot of iOS users will really take advantage of this. Now, before we continue, here's a word from our sponsor. Today's sponsor is Fly. Fly is the world's first 3D social network application. When you open Fly, you immediately see your city or town in a 3D model map. Now, no matter where you live, Fly will work. You can tap on any building, house, monument, or place and see a post of any stories, experiences, or upcoming events at this place. It's honestly a genius way to bring people together, since each building has its own timeline and anyone can post a story, anecdote, or any experiences that they had at these places. Plus, anyone can drop a comment or a like on any of your posts. And if you'd like to post your experience that you had there, you can simply choose a location. Any location will work. No matter where you drop a pin, you can write about your experience there. You can choose and even include pictures and videos. It's a brilliant way to bring people closer together. I even noticed that they're giving away a PS5 and up to 5 $200 Visa gift cards, which is pretty cool. And all you have to do in order to participate and win is download the Fly application from the links in the description, post an image or a video of your favorite place with the hashtag I love this place. The post that gets the most likes will win. If you want more information about the contest, you can head on over to the Statue of Liberty. So again, check out Fly app. Links will be in the description down below. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the status bar. Now, Apple has shrunk the actual Face ID module with iPhone 13, but we still do not have a battery percentage on the status bar. Now, I'll give you a quick minute here to guess what is the battery percentage on this iPhone right now. I bet you can't guess the exact number. That's because we can't really tell by just looking at this icon. It would be nice if Apple would change the battery icon on the status bar to an actual percentage that you can actually read and see for yourself. Now, many jailbreak tweaks have accomplished this throughout the years, many concepts as well, as you can see right here. I think Apple should definitely change this to a percentage instead of just an icon that really doesn't tell you a whole lot in regards to the battery percentage on your iPhone. Now, as you may or may not know, many of you probably own a pair of AirPods. So the next thing I want to talk about is AirPods. Now, I'm sure if you're watching here on the channel, you most likely own a pair of AirPods. Now, AirPods do receive firmware updates. However, no one really knows how to update the firmware on AirPods. Every time a new firmware comes up, I have to make a video telling users how to update, right? Because the method isn't really clear. There's not a particular section within settings that allows you to manually update or even see what's new with an update of AirPods. Now, AirPods are extremely popular. We have second generation, we have third generation, we have AirPods Pro, AirPods Max, and I think they deserve its own section in settings for you to be able to update and see any release notes for AirPods. iOS 16 just has to bring this to the platform. A lot of users really want AirPods software updates, categories, and settings with release notes. I think Apple is now the time for Apple to add this to AirPods within iOS 16. Let me know what you think about this one. This one is a very popular request for many users, but I would like to know your thoughts in those comments down below. So next, I want to shift my attention over to some hardware and software features combined, and that is the always on display. Many iPhone users have been wanting always on display, and maybe the iPhone 14 this year with iOS 16 would enable the always on display. It would be really nice to quick glance at your iPhone, see your calendar, maybe a notification without having to lift your device or tap it to wake. Apple has been doing this on Apple Watch for many years now. Take a look at my Apple Watch. Right now, the display is dimmed. I raise my wrist and it lights up completely. Bring the LTPO technology over to the iPhone with iOS 16 and iPhone 14 will be really, really cool and a nice welcome addition to the iPhone and the operating system this year, iOS 16. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Apple Music. One thing I would love for Apple to bring back to Apple Music is cover flow. You may remember Apple Music back in the day, or the music application on iPhone back in the day, where you can swipe through your album artwork, you can rate the album, you can swipe through the cover flow. It was really nice, really interactive. I think this would really help Apple Music in general, right? Because it is a nicer look, cleaner, in my opinion. And I think a lot of users will have that nostalgic feeling to the operating system where it takes you back and you remember what Apple Music or music on the iPhone was to begin with. So cover flow, something that's simple but yet very awesome, and I think a lot of users will really enjoy to have back on the iPhone. Now, the next thing I would like to talk about is the actual home screen. We have widgets nowadays that we can add to the home screen, but there's one additional feature that I would like to see add to the home screen, and that is the ability to have widgets on the home screen that have toggles. Now, in Control Center, we have these platters here that have the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, the cell data, airplane mode, the actual player for the Apple Music. It would be nice to have these directly on the home screen so you can have quick access to play and pause your music, maybe turn on or off Wi-Fi or disconnect from Bluetooth rather quickly. Having these tiles as widgets on the home screen, I think, will be a great welcome addition with iOS 16. And as we're talking to UI changes here, I would also like to see the dock add the new app library feature as we have it on iPad, where you can have it maybe on the corner of your dock and you can quickly access all of your apps or at App Drawer directly within the dock. So for the home screen, I would like to see 2 minor changes there, or 3 maybe. Different size widgets, toggles on the home screen platters here, and of course the app library feature directly built into the dock, or at least the ability to have it on the dock. Now, last but not least, as Apple continues to work to a true wireless future, it makes sense for Apple to add this particular option here, which is OS recovery. Now, this would allow you to use a combination of buttons or commands on your iPhone to restore your iPhone back to factory settings without having to connect your iPhone to a computer. Many users have been wanting this for quite some time. Obviously, Apple has been testing this since iOS 12, and here we are, iOS 16. Hopefully, we'll see OS recovery. So let me know what you think about these features that I'm looking forward to, what it is that you're looking forward to from Apple with iOS 16. Is there anything you would like to see? I would like to hear from you in those comments down below. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.